Hello, this is a demonstration of Ballettomane's junior show hair. The hair for the show is in a slick back bun, and I usually like to start with some water. Water is actually the best thing to get the hair in a really nice and tidy ponytail. So I just wet the hair a little bit, particularly in the roots. The ponytail is the most challenging part because we want it to be really nice and slick and make sure that there's no bubbles in the hair. So again, I just make sure it's a little bit wet. And then I find if I use a fine pick tooth comb like this, one that's really tight, it helps to just get rid of any little bubbles in the hair so that it's a really nice smooth finish. Okay, and I obviously realize that your child might struggle a bit with the tightness, but you want to make sure it's a really nice, tight, slick ponytail, okay, as tight as possible. The ponytail height should be approximately right across from the top of the ear. That makes for the most appealing balletic line. Okay, then I use a little bit of gel. This is just regular hair gel, nothing fancy. And then I just rub a little bit into the roots again to get that nice slick back, really tight looking bun. Okay. So we get rid of any more of those little bumps in the ponytail and make sure it's nice and tight and tidy.
And when the teachers walked by, I was like, I was going back, I'm like, how? Yeah, I know. Yeah, and when the teachers walked by, I was just like, and this there,
and I like using these nice black tight elastics, something that's really thick because it just really helps to hold the hair in. Now, London has very thick hair. Some students might not have it so thick, so it depends on the type of hair you have, but I find that these elastics, number one, are really good because they don't get stuck in students' hair on the way out, and they have like no join to them. They're just one solid elastic. Okay, so we have our lovely ponytail. It's right across from the tip of the ear, and now for the bun part. I just get rid of all of the little bumps. If you comb them up towards the ponytail, then it's nice and tight, and you don't have anything to worry about. Okay, now moving on to the bun. You just want to watch the type of hairnet that you're purchasing. Okay, I find I buy my hairnets, you can get them from Shoppers Drug Mart or Sally, and you want a hairnet with an elasticated edge and one with tight mesh, like a fine mesh in it, okay, something like this. So I take the hair around and I just wrap it around this way. I take it around the ponytail. And actually, this is probably one of the most important parts. So right now, I take the hairnet before I put any pins into it, and I wrap the hairnet again, depending on how thick the hair is, either once or twice or sometimes 3 times. Okay. Now this part right now is where you actually make the bun look like a beautiful balletic bun. So this is how we just kind of flatten it apart, and we make it nice and round, and so it has a really good shape to it, and so that it's flat. So a dancer bun, we want to be as absolutely flat to the head as possible. Okay, so we pin around all the little edges, and now I take hairpins, and again I buy mine at Sally Beauty. I buy them in a box for $10.99, and then I have lots of pins forever. It's a whole pound of pins, and it's an easy hairpin, so it has a space in between it, not a bobby pin. And you take the end of the bun and then just take it around the side. So you're making sure that you grab not only the hair in the bun, but also the hair that goes into the ponytail so that it's nice and tight. Now London has very thick hair, so I would use a lot of pins on her, But that's usually one of the problems, is that a lot of parents will send their students in, or their children in, pardon me, with 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 pins. When you're doing a real ballet bun, you want to make sure it's really secure for students, so it should have, you know, upwards of 20 pins to make sure it's nice and flat, okay? And then it's going to be very secure. The students won't be worrying about their hair falling out, and it'll have a nice balletic look to it. And if you noticed as well, I'm pushing down on the bun while I'm putting the pins in. That just helps again to make that real nice flat bun. Okay, basically we want the hair to feel like it's almost disappearing into the head. That's how flat it is, so that it's really appealing and we're looking at the student's face. So that is London's bun. I'm just going to spray it a little bit. Spray all the little loose ends here. Make sure everything's nice and tight. If London shakes her head right now, it's super tight, bun's not going anywhere. Okay, now we're just going to talk about the blush and the lipstick application. So London, I'm going to get you to turn to the front here. You can sit down. This way here, perfect. Okay, so our blush is the CoverGirl blush. Our blush is listed in the handbook, so you can check the colors and making sure that you're having the right one. So I find for blush, if I use a bigger brush, it's a little bit nicer. So London, can you put your lips together like a fish? Okay, if you do that, then you can find the nice cheekbone. So for students, you want to make sure you put it on quite heavy, because this just picks up a nice set of color from the stage, because they can often get very washed out under our stage lights. So this just brightens up the face of it and gives the students some nice color. Good. There we go, and London looks great. And for our junior show as well, then they just wear the red lipstick. I use the Annabelle 205 Cherry as a lip liner, because I find it just helps the lipstick look a little bit tidier, and then we don't have to worry about any smudging as well. So London, do you want to just put your lips out kind of like that for me? Perfect. So I just follow the line of the lip. I find the lip liner is nice because it really stays on the students and doesn't move around when they're backstage waiting for a while. And then I actually use the lip stain as well. Okay, so I'll just... Great, and just pucker your lips. And London's all ready for the show. So thank you for watching. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to email info@balletomane.ca or read through our handbook, and you can ask any of the teachers as well. Good luck in the show.